Hello my friends! Once again, this is Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with another toy review. Ochaco Uraraka, a My Hero Academia figure put out by McFarlane Toys. Now, when I saw the first wave of the My Hero Academia figures, I thought that they were pretty cool looking. They were Deku, All Might, and Bakugo, of course. But I hesitated to get them because I was afraid. Like, I know a lot of times these collector figures, I've been burned by NECA before on paint-stuck joints, sculpting that gets in the way of articulation, and worst of all, poor plastic tolerances that can make joints tear or snap off. So I kind of passed on them, but then when I saw how beautiful the Uravity figure was, I'm like, alright, I'm gonna take a chance. I just saw the second My Hero Academia movie in theaters a couple days ago. I thought that the movie was fantastic. Uraraka is one of my favorite characters from the show. She's one of those characters who has a superpower that basically makes the laws of physics her bitch, and that's why this isn't made for kids, folks. But yeah, like she's like she can just decide to turn gravity off. Like that is such an insane power. That it's really only matched by two other quirks on the show. Lemillion's ability to pass through walls, which makes the electromagnetic force his bitch, and Momo's her creation quirk, which can transmute the lipids in her body into whatever atoms she can imagine, and she can structure them into whatever she wants. That's that will be the strong nuclear force being made her bitch. Yeah, the strong nuclear force, like, normally transmuting one atom into a different kind of atom requires such enormous amounts of heat and energy that only the cores of stars are capable of doing it. But, you know, Momo can just kind of fart that stuff out of her skin. Okay, so the box is pretty bare bones. It's just this big plain yellow thing. On the back, you can see a couple other figures that are in the wave. Not pictures of the actual toys, but, you know, pictures of the characters themselves. I saw the other two toys at retail. They look very nice. Oh, by the way, I picked this one up at the Collector Cave. The Collector Cave being the last comic store still in business in the Bronx. Although, from what I understand, it is a franchise, so you might have some Collector Caves in your towns. And I kind of like how Red Riot has, like, swapping arms. Like, he has normal fleshy arms, and you can detach them and put on, like, his stone arms. That's kind of a cool thing. But I talked about this long enough. Let's get her out of the packaging. Now, I wanted to give McFarlane Toys credit for the collector-friendly packaging, which is where you pull the top of the box open and extract the figure. Although it is a very tight fit. But as I was about to say that, I noticed this second part, her flight stand, if you want to do her zero gravity stuff, is held in a blister on the back card. Like, this is a blister. Why did they do that? Like, everything about this was so collector friendly, but this one piece, well, two pieces, but still, I hate that. I really do. Anyway, let's bite the bullet and get everything out of there. Well, that was the best I was able to do. I managed to pull like half the blister off, which gave me just enough slack to wedge out the flight stand. Still, I really wish that there was a more collector-friendly way that they were able to include the flight stand. Like, I believe with Figmas and Figuarts and stuff, those things are like just put in a separate little baggie that's not physically attached to anything. So I believe, yes, there we go. That slides on like that, and there's a nice strong ratchet right there. And then you got like a ratcheted little hand. It's the kind of thing that just does that. We will get into the flight stand in a bit. I want to do other stuff first. Okay, so here is Ochaco out of the packaging. The figure is very lovely, looks just like her. Accessories are her helmet, which has different hair wearing the helmet, and a pair of hands. One is a fist, and the other is a partially open holding thing hand. And yes, if you look closely, you see she does have the pink pads on her fingertips, which are the parts that she needs to touch in order to make things lose gravity, which, you know, I still say that that is such a physics-breaking power. She doesn't really know it yet, but she is one of the 5 most powerful beings in all of the My Hero Academia verse. The hands that she comes with by default are in this open position, and I would like to report that there is no fragility to her. Yes, like I was afraid that I would get a paint stuck joints. None of her joints are paint stuck. They are all lovingly soft detents, and there's plenty of click points so that they don't feel like you're moving too much with each point. And like she has butterfly joints in the shoulders. I mean, they're not super huge range, but they do help with the sculpt of her arms. She has bicep swivels, lovely double jointed elbows on a female figure. Do not see that often. Her wrist joints are almost like a Figma or Figuart. Like it's ratcheted and it's a ball joint, and you can use it to rotate. So, you know, plenty of range. Her head is on a ball joint, like you can look down really far, like look at that. Like you can practically have this thing on a street luge, like woo! It has tilt, and her face is really cute. I mean, it looks a little bit I mean, it's Ochaco's warm little disarming grin, but it's a little bit too Harley Quinn, if you ask me. They should have softened her expression a little. Like maybe opened her mouth a little, or made her eyes not quite so wide. Or heck, I would have liked it if she had like, in addition to this helmet piece, I would have liked it if she had a second face entirely. Perhaps one with her her angry fighting expression, like when she was trying to beat Bakugo in the school, you know, in the sports festival, or when she goes into gunhead martial arts mode. I would have liked to see that expression. For the record, I was thinking something like this. This would have been a good expression for a second face. She has 2 ball joints in her torso, one up in her rib cage and another down by her waist, which affords her lots of natural movement. So, like, you know, she can do her gunhead martial arts kicks and stuff like that. The hips are the only part that feel a little bit limited because of the sculpt of her bottom. But they still get a pretty good range. They go that far outwards. Good. That's more than a 90-degree split. They go forwards that much. Backwards. They go forwards more than they go backwards. They don't go backwards very far. But check out the knees. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that, look at that, look at that! Yes! Full double joint in the knee! Yes! And of course, thanks to the relatively large feet, there's no ankle articulation of any kind, but because the feet are large enough that you can actually have her standing in fairly dynamic poses, and she will be able to maintain balance. Which I'm not able to do. Oh wait, I am able to do. Yeah, that's how well balanced she is. I can actually do it while I'm being filmed on camera. I also like the double jointed elbows, and the really good wrists actually mean you can bring her 2 hands to each other so that she can touch her fingertips together to release her gravity power on whatever it is that she touched. That was very, very nice. Okay, so she does have a swapping thing. You just got to get your hand up underneath and pull her hair off. That doesn't look creepy at all. And onto that, you slip on her head. Make that square peg meet. Okay. There we go. And now she's wearing her helmet. The plastic on the helmet's a little thick. It actually creates a lensing effect that distorts her face a little bit. But it does look really cool. I always did love Ochaco's little helmet design. It's kind of supposed to be like somewhat space themed, which, you know, totally works for someone that has gravity powers. Super fun. I do love this figure so much. By the way, like I love how they use like a delicious matte gloss finish. Like, she's not super shiny and plasticky looking. This actually looks like, you know, it's physical. It looks like she is a person wearing fabric clothing because she's not overly shiny and there's a little bit of texture to her. It's a really good looking figure. It's really good looking. I love how good looking this figure is, and I wish you could actually feel it, because when you touch it, there's this nice somewhat, like, it just has a nice feel. This figure literally feels as good as it looks. I love that. If you're a fan of My Hero Academia, absolutely go out and buy this. Don't even wait for my final recommendation. It's just like, and if the other figures in the series are as good as this, I kind of regret not getting them, because like I said, I was afraid that I would face gummy plastic tolerances and fragile joints, but I am not getting any of that. This is a really, really great figure. Like, it holds up as well as being played with as a Marvel Legends figure does. You know, for what that's worth. I know Marvel Legends is kind of a benchmark that everybody's familiar with. And as you can see, the hand swap is very easy. The peg is nice and big, so it doesn't feel like something that I might accidentally break when I'm pulling the hands on and off. So all that really leaves is to talk about her display stand. There is a peg hole that you can put her shoe on. It's a bit of a tight squeeze. So, like, if you want to have extreme things like her doing a kick, then you have that option. Or if you just want to go the full-on making yourself weightless, all you gotta do is clamp this around her waist, and there you go. The stand is very well balanced, so the figure is not throwing it off balance, and you can totally just... So there we go. Nice little Uraraka, Ochaco Uraraka, better known as Uravity, just flying through the air with the greatest of ease because her body doesn't weigh anything. Like, seriously, that's cool. Everything about this is cool. I love this figure. And, you know, like, My Hero Academia is easily up there in my top 5 favorite animes. Possibly top 3 now that I think about it. It's not my favorite. I definitely know my favorite as of right now is still Dr. Stone. But, you know, like, it might be number 2 right after Dr. Stone. I'm not sure, but I really love My Hero Academia. And the movie might still be in theaters as of the time of this recording, so I would recommend going out to see it if you can. And I would recommend getting these figures. Find a place that sells them, most likely collector shops like Collector Cave or other comic book stores, and go out and grab one. I think you can get these at GameStop too, now that I think about it. Yeah, because GameStop needs our support too now. But basically, all retail distributors that sell toys and video games need our help. So please help them. I just know if I had ordered this figure online, I would have spent an extra $10 on it, and it would have had a really ugly blemish in the paint job. So, like, support physical retail outlets so that we can go to stores and inspect our toys before we buy them. This is Wake Angel 2001, signing off.